Welcome back. I'm Wavepunk, and this is... I'm gonna go look. 81, 82, 83, 86. Day 86 of producing for a year. We're getting up to 90, almost so close. We're getting close to 100. I've been doing a lot of Googling and trying to understand what do you do when you got one section of your mix that's just way louder than the rest. And everything I'm finding online is about how to make your whole mix louder and how to deal with the fact that your whole mix is quiet. And I got all that. I'm trying to understand how do I deal with the fact that this one bit here at the end, as we saw yesterday, is so much louder than the rest of it. And I think the answer is probably just turning everything down a little bit in that one section, but that feels like a loss of energy. So we're gonna try that today. I'm gonna try and see if I can just kind of turn all the volumes down together through that whole section slowly. It doesn't feel like it's getting quieter while it stays the same volume. We'll see if we can do that here. I've got the limiter up here and I've got the gain turned to neutral. It's not doing anything to make the piece louder. All I wanted to do is show me how much it's reducing the audio. So in this section, it starts to hit. And watch here. So its maximum there, it's reducing by 4.3. It's knocking it down. And I really feel like when you've got this thing turned off, and you listen to it, I feel like I can hear how much it's hurting the tops of those notes. So we're gonna leave this on and we're gonna see if I can just go through and turn everything down a bit. Is this the sort of thing I could do like in the master, or would that, I feel like if I were to do it on the master, it'd be really obvious. So I think we do need to do it on every individual channel. Let's start with these sweeps here. Okay, so they by themselves aren't hitting the limiter. That's good. By themselves, they're getting up to 13 LUFS, which is kind of the target volume I've been trying to get everything to. I want it in like kind of like the negative 14 range. If I get everything to negative 14, then I can put some gain and saturators on the master and really kind of boost it up from the master, kind of a quiet in, loud out on the master chain. So what if we just turn all these down like 3 decibels here? Scroll up back to 1.1. Before I do this, I'm gonna save as a new. This is mix 2. And now, what's this at? Okay, now, can we mix everything to that, to where these sound the way I want them to sound? My theory of the way I was mixing was I was trying to pull everything that was melodic down in volume as I have those sweeps and risers go up in volume. And I think that trying to have the melodies stay loud while the sweeps come in, which are a very spectrum-wide sound, is creating this dramatic increase in volume. So if I have the melodic things go down when I have the sweeps come up, maybe it'll stay the same. That was kind of my theory behind today's attempt. Okay, so I've gotten the LUFS to sit under 10 for that section. It's just barely. Just barely, but that is a big improvement from where it was up at like 8.4 before we started. It was like really starting to peak out there. So now when we go through this section, I'm not certain I like this mix better. I think I like the way it sounded better before, which is more important, but I don't know. I'm trying to experiment right now, see if I can like maybe, find like a middle ground or something. So does this kick in at all? Okay. So it kicks in harshly at some point, but then the actual loud section here, it kicks in a lot less. That was where it was hitting 4.3, was right at the end. So now it's not. So there's something earlier in this build that... There, what was... They just wear the percussion doubles, because that was one thing I was fascinated to learn, was that the percussion by itself... Yeah, look at how much louder the kind of... Even in the LUFS, the perceived volume is so much louder when we double this. It goes up to like 15. I suppose over here it's 20, 18, something like that. So yeah, I don't know. If anyone's got any tips on how to deal with a specifically loud section like this, I'm gonna bounce this on to compare the two, but I really don't think that this is I don't think this is better. Okay, so comparing yesterday on top to today on bottom. The sweeps are a lot louder in yesterday's mix when I do want them. I want that same loudness. And in general, in today's, I think that what specific thing is loud, what specific thing your ear is hearing is worse. So that's bad. But we'll work on that tomorrow, see if we can like change it. I will say it's not as I thought it was going to sound worse than that. I almost like that it gets too loud there. I mean, I'm not gonna say I almost like. I like that it feels louder there. I don't like that I feel like the only way I can make that feeling happen is if I write music this way. I want to know how other people are able to mix their songs and have it be kind of the same volume where you don't feel like you have to touch the volume knob and it still feels this way. There's still a chance that this is the mix I would put out. If I had to put out a mix today, I'd probably put this one out over this one. I don't know. So we're gonna keep learning. I'm glad to have kind of been able to like tame this a little bit. We are getting closer to this all looking the same, so that's good. We are learning things about mixing here, and I do think there will be a point at which we take what we learned from this mix and apply it to the next track. So the thing like, oh, when our melodies come up, we need our risers to go down, and when we want our risers to come up, we need our melodies to go down, sort of thing. If that is the case, it'll be less brain bending to just, as we're writing a new piece, do that mixing automatically as we're writing it, rather than waiting to kind of do it all at the end. So I don't know, we're learning some things here. Good lessons today. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys tomorrow.